As the saying goes, all good things must come to an end, but man, when it comes to TV shows, some finales are downright heartbreaking. In fact, the end of a TV series can be just as painful as the end of a relationship. By the last episode, you're usually forced to face the fact that you'll have nothing to watch from the next day on. So get your tissues ready, we're about to revisit the saddest finales of all time. The first on our list is no surprise. Did she get off the plane? Did she get off the plane? I got off the plane. If that hasn't given it away, we're of course talking about Friends. It's been more than 10 years, but the memories of Chandler and Monica, Ross and Rachel, and Phoebe and Joey are still going strong. The final episodes of Friends, aptly titled The Last One, aired 17 years ago on the 6th of May 2004. Millions of us tuned in to watch Chandler Bing and Monica Geller return home with their baby twins, Jack and Erica. The last tear-jerking scene of the finale finds all 6 friends gathered at Monica and Chandler's apartment as movers carry out their last boxes of belongings. They cry, hug, leave their keys on the counter, and head downstairs for some coffee. We all wish we'd been able to join them. The show's ending was too sad for reality, but since everyone seemed ready to move on, it gave fans some closure, plus 10 seasons of friendship and laughter to watch over and over again. In a very similar scene, the next show ended with a group of best friends hanging out together. After 12 seasons, CBS's long-running geek-centric sitcom, The Big Bang Theory, ended its run in 2019. Despite a rather uneven final season, the series was still able to stage one of the best executed series finales. The Big Bang Theory finale was primarily about Sheldon and Amy winning the Nobel Prize in Physics, and the whole gang heading to Sweden to support their friend's achievements. Fans loved Amy's transformation and the inner confidence it gave her that she's always had but never put on display. The part that had viewers bawling? The ceremony. Sheldon gave up his lengthy, egocentric speech and thanked his friends individually instead. In a gesture of heartfelt emotion, he asks each of them to stand and tells them he loves them, and then apologizes for not being a better friend. The final scene finds the group in their natural state, sitting around the coffee table eating takeout, happy and laughing. To tug further on our heartstrings, an acoustic version of the theme song played it over it all. Oh, and the elevator's finally fixed. The show's revival proves how brilliant its lasting efforts was. The final episode of season 7 of Futurama was a brilliant time travel affair that left the door open for a more than unlikely revival of the series. The relationship between Fry and Leela has been a long-running staple of Futurama, though the pair have come together only a few times over the years. Fry's undying love for his co-worker has been a longtime fixture of his character. The show's devoted many episodes to the potential couple, but it was the final episode before Futurama's recent cancellation that took things to the next and highly emotional level. It centered around two things: a time travel device and Fry's marriage proposal to Leela. After the mishap with the time-traveling device, Fry and Leela find themselves trapped in a single moment in time. They took advantage of this opportunity to live out the rest of their lives together, traveling the world and enjoying each other's company. It's romantic and hugely satisfying way to leave the pair's relationship. One viewer shared, quote, "The finale made me openly weep. Maybe I'm just overly sentimental, but after watching Fry and Leela live such a beautiful life and growing old together, it really gets me. You can be sure their tears weren't the only ones flowing. The next show was perfect, but that's what made its finale so sad. Let's head back to the finale of Breaking Bad. The Breaking Bad finale is basically a victory lap for Wall, as he gets to accomplish everything that he left his mountain retreat to do. He threatens Gretchen and Elliot into donating all his money to his family under the guise of charity. He kills all of the white supremacists that stole his blue meth formula. He also frees Jesse from slavery, and we see Jesse finally drive off into freedom. Wall also gets a sense of closure with Skyler and his infant daughter, poisons Lydia with a lot of ricin, and then evades the police all the way to the end. In the final scene of the show, Walt explores the lab at the compound. He's badly injured from his gunshot wound and surrounded by his true love, all the machines and devices used for making meth. Walter died where he felt happiest. To get over the end, we'll start rewatching it. Nothing lasts forever, but the hour-long Last Forever finale of How I Met Your Mother confirmed all of our worst fears. The series finale proved the conspiracy theorists right. The mother, Tracy McConnell, was dead. By the time Ted told his children the story, she had been dead for 6 years, the victim of a sickness during which Ted loved her very, very much. Cue the tears. By the halfway point of the finale, viewers noticed the hints Robin and Barney had gotten divorced. Robin had a too cute run-in with Ted and his daughter on the street, and she told Lily that Ted was the guy she should have married. It was a moment fans saw coming, but the nail in the mother's coffin, sorry I had to, came after Ted revealed she died. Ted's kids convinced him to call Robin to ask her on a date. It had been 6 years, they said. It was time to move on from Mom. He then showed up at her door with the famous blue French horn. It wasn't the happily ever after we were expecting when Carter Bays and Craig Thomas began telling the story of how Ted Mosby met the mother of his children. The whole 9 seasons became a story about moving on from loss, accepting growth and pain, and the reality of friends drifting apart, and the negation of true love. Also, they never solved the pineapple incident, just saying. As JD admits in season 8, endings are never easy. Let us now pretend that season 9 of Scrubs never happened. Season 8's My Finale should have stuck. My Finale was the conclusion of Scrubs, looking back from where they've started to where they are now. However, what made this episode memorable is how it was Scrubs being itself, never wavering, honest, goofy, and over the top while also hokey. Overall, an outstanding episode about the characters and who they are. Luckily, it wasn't a marriage proposal or some other big gimmick that ended the show. JD asked for big goodbyes, prodding people to give him an honest response, and he got a handful. The moment with Kelso was nice. Probably the best goodbye on the show, not overstated and exactly as long as it should be. The Carla one was also very nice. The best bit, the flash forward in the final 5 minutes, was a nod to what we would have seen in the seasons to come, but also an acknowledgement that the show needed to end. Of course, JD and Elliot were going to get married, and of course Turk and JD would spend the holidays together and raise their kids together. This finale was all about some happy tears, and the flash forward montage of the milestones in every character's life gave us full closure indeed. After 11 years of togetherness, Modern Family wrapped up the program's 11th seasons with perhaps the most obvious setup, namely a string of fairly sudden developments that would scatter the extended clan in different directions. But we got a finale that was worthy of the show's mix of big, broad laughs and tender family-oriented heart. After adopting a baby boy, Cam got offered his dream job back in Missouri, which would force Cam and Mitchell to uproot themselves and vacate the new house they had just finished lovingly furnishing. Meanwhile, the Dunphys were dealing with a house that was not just full, but overflowing, since all of their now adult children still lived at home. Still, when Claire and Phil asked one of their children to move out, they soon faced the prospect of having all of them go and the prospect of an empty nest. Jay was grappling with accepting the fact that his wife Gloria is successfully working. He made a secret attempt to learn Spanish to surprise her, making for a great gag when Phil misunderstood his request for a spoon. It was a lot to handle, but the episode created moments for all the characters ranging from the funny to the touching, including Jay's line that had viewers' eyes watering about Mitchell and Cameron moving, "Both my sons are leaving." The show's final moments, a medley of photos showing how everyone had grown up, offering up the perfect symbol. After Phil told Claire, "Leave the porch light on," they come back. Sob. I think it's safe to say that not all series finales are on equal footing. Critics and fans alike can agree that a show can go out on any number of notes, but those have the ability to bring viewers to tears are always the most memorable. Which one hits you the hardest? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.